Happy VA Wednesday. So a viewer asked for this video. So today we're going to be talking about how we look at a departing residence when you're moving states and buying a new house, okay? So whenever I think of that, I always think of PCSing, right? Let's say you were stationed in Texas, you bought a house when you're there, now you're moving to Ohio, okay? Great, and you want to buy a house there. So how do we treat this house? It's really simple, guys. It's so simple. It's so easy. It's nothing you should be super stressed out about. So if I'm trying to offset this mortgage payment, right? Because often, like, most people aren't going to qualify with two housing payments. You know, a lot of times people are like, well, do I have to move out first? No. What we have to show is one of two things. We're either going to be looking for a lease that's signed, right? And sometimes people are like, oh, but I can't get a lease until I've moved out. Guys, I've rented out properties before and I've gotten a lease signed before I've moved out, and the lease has been contingent on me moving into a new place or the move date being XYZ and the person taking occupancy after that. So really not as challenging as often people would think, okay? Where it gets challenging sometimes is if you have like a property management company that's saying, hey, we don't even want to put it up for lease until you get all your stuff out and we want to do pictures and this and that. We also have a second option. The second option is we can get a property manager opinion letter or a realtor opinion letter that says what your property will rent out for, okay? So it's nothing that you should be really stressed out about. This is something we see and do every single day, okay? Now the trick to this is that we're only gonna offset the mortgage payment. So let's say you're moving out of the house and the mortgage payment is $2,000 and you're renting the house out for $3,000. We're only going to offset that $2,000. We're not going to be giving you additional rental income to qualify. Now, there is a way to do that. However, most people don't meet the requirements because you would need a history of managing properties, which most people don't have. And you would also need 3 months of reserves for both properties. So what I'm doing really like 99.9% of the time is we're just offsetting that mortgage payment, okay? Where it gets trickier is like once in a while we'll have a veteran and maybe they're not PCSing, right? Maybe they're retired and maybe they paid off a house. So they paid off the house, you know, taxes and insurance are $600. They're gonna get $3,000 in rent. I'm only offsetting that $600. You know, that's where we really start looking at, okay, should we be looking at a different type of loan? Because in order to use more than offset, you do need that 2-year history. Really important. Now, something else to know about departing residence income, rental income. It's really easy if you guys are leaving pretty quickly, right? If you're moving out of house A and moving into house B, within a couple months, great. Where it gets tricky is if you move out of house A and you rent it out and then you're not looking for another house for a year. The reason's this. So in order to use it as a departing residence, you have to have departed it within the last 12 months, which means the new loan has to close within 12 months. So if you left the house, right, you wouldn't do this with PCSing. This is like more, you know, after the military, you know, maybe you have this house, you move to a different state because you want to explore it, you rent it out, and now you want to buy in that new state and you're like, okay, I need the rental income. So where it gets tricky is that if it's over a year, we need a 2-year rental history in order to use income. That is the one thing that can bite. Okay. And look, I'm a big fan of when you're exploring new areas, it can help to rent. But if you have another property at play where you're going to need rental income, this is something to consider. So in a situation like that, let's say that you lived in California and you moved to New York and you've been in New York for a year, this house has been rented for a year, and you want to use this rental history. Unless you have a 2-year rental history, I can't use this income with VA. So at that point, I would be looking at other mortgage programs such as conventional, which are more lenient. I know, I never thought I would say that either. This is the one place conventional is more lenient. But look, situations like that, it's not what I see every day. What I'm generally seeing with a VA loan is I'm seeing that someone lives in house A that they own and they want to move to house B. You know, there's not a huge lag in time. So we're just doing the really easy departing residence rental income where we get that lease or that opinion letter and we're offsetting your mortgage payment with it so that we can use your full income for the new one. Okay, that is what we're doing. So really, really easy. You know, if you're working with a lender and you're like, oh, they're making it so hard, it shouldn't be. It's so simple, and it's nothing you should be stressed out about. You know, so if you want to talk about this, please reach out, guys. I'm happy to talk about it. Sandy, Alyssa, all of us are happy to chat with you about it. We do so much of this because here's the thing, like I'm always talking about building wealth with a VA loan. And part of that is you buy a house and you buy another one and this one becomes a rental. So this departing rental income piece is very important to getting to this. So in order to build wealth with VA, you know, we want to make sure we're doing it right, but the key is it's super simple. So the only time this is going to get tricky is if you need more than what the mortgage payment is to qualify, okay? Because then we're getting into, do you have a history and all that fun stuff? Or if you already left that house and it's been over a year by the time we close the new loan. So any questions, please reach out. I hope this was easy to understand. I know it got a little bit convoluted, but I wanted to make sure I covered that one issue because that is the one thing with VA where we go, shoot, conventional would be better in this situation if we need that rental income. So as always, thank you for watching. Just a quick video today. If you guys have ideas or if you're like, Jen, please cover this, I will cover it. The only stuff I won't cover is stuff I don't do. So I don't do construction loans. I don't do renovation loans. Sometimes I'll have guest speakers for that, but any type of loan I do, ask me the questions. I'm more than happy to do a video for y'all. Thanks for watching.